How's it going, guys? Welcome back to TheBlueShifting. Welcome back to Ethereal Enigma. So last time we were here, things have settled down quite a bit. We have our foreign exchange friend who is now staying at our house, and we got approached randomly by Kira, who apparently was there and witnessed everything that happened at the shrine, and she wants to talk about it more. So apparently something's going down with that, but other than that, everything's going good. The best friend guy, who's totally not the best friend guy, got a job at the arcade where he washes dishes. But hey, not going to shame a man for enjoying his work. It sounded pretty fun, and we got to goof around at the arcade. But now we're rushing back so we can get to the shrine. There's not really a whole lot of detail to get back into, besides with Bellari being from another world. It's just all fun. Like, that's really all. It's just fun. There's not a whole lot of complexity at this point in the story. So I don't think there's much else to recap. Let's just jump right in. After getting dressed, I'm ready to meet Kira at the shrine. As I pass by Erilynn's room, I wonder if I should let her know I'm leaving. Her door's currently closed, but the information we hope to find directly affects her. Should I disturb her? I think I'll just knock. Remembering how rudely she woke me up yesterday, I decided to just knock. Gathering my fist, I rapped twice on the door. There's no response. Is she asleep? I knock once more. Still no response. It's probably better that she doesn't join us anyway. I mean, fair, I kind of didn't want to bring her anyway. Grabbing my things, I head out to the house and make my way to the shrine. The walk over feels longer than usual. My breath comes in gasps as I pick up the pace. I wonder if so was that a meaningful or not meaningful choice? That's the thing I don't know, because if it were crystalline, it would effectively be a meaningless choice just because most of the choices really didn't have an impact on the story, but I know this game they do. So I wonder if there was if it's like Ace Academy, there might have been a bonus scene, maybe like a burst into the room and she's like half dressed and be like, oh, like that's totally a thing that happened in Ace Academy. I missed a couple special CGs because I wasn't an a-hole, but that's fine. Anyway, feels long as usual. My breath comes in gas, so I pick up the pace. Finally, I see the familiar gates. Kira stands in front of them and greets me as I approach. Didn't it look like sundown at our house before? And now it's like midday, but whatever. Now, again, I tried to adjust the volume, and it's so loud music-wise. There we go. I apologize for that. Finally get to see Kira to approach.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going? Hey, sorry I'm late. I hope you haven't been waiting long. She shakes her head. This is the first time I've seen her out of her school uniform. Must be staring a bit too long because she breaks the silence.
Is something wrong?
I don't know. I mean, I'm hoping it's not as you look good, but let's see. I snap out of my stare, feeling my cheeks burn as I look away. Kira's already beautiful to begin with, but with this outfit, it makes her look elegant and feminine. The school uniform really doesn't do her justice. Sorry, didn't mean to stare. You look really great today. My eyes widen as I realize how that sounds. I'm sorry. I know that it's not that you don't look good every day, and you do. I mean, it's not like I've been staring, or it's just me. It's just getting warm in here. I feel a heat rising in my face. I'm sorry. I'm so awkward. To my surprise, Kira bows her head in a grateful nod.
Thank you.
Should we head in and pretend this never happened? Kira nods. Thank you. We go through the gate and enter the shrine grounds. There's a good number of people wandering about. Families crowd the main hall, wishing for blessings of health and good fortune. Many couples gaze lovingly at each other as they wish for happiness, and even more single people look wistfully around the shrine, holding amulets for love. Fetch, man. I understand that, love charms are often a thing at shrines, but, this is, a little heavy-handed. Wonder where we should start. Do you remember where you saw that thing in the sky? Kira looks up, shielding her eyes from the sun.
It was right above where Erilynn landed on you. About there.
She points to a spot in the air. I glance up at the sky. It's clear today without a cloud in sight. I don't see anything abnormal.
Neither do I. It's not like it was the other night.
I guess, was there any preamble? I'd be guessing, was it normal and then changed? Or was there something odd going on that whole time and I just didn't notice it? Our best bet is still to find the old woman, then. I give Kira a description of what I remember. Scanning the crowd, I look for the familiar face of that mysterious old lady. The crowd of the people are too thick for me to spot her. Kira takes a cursory glance around her, too. We'll never find her this way. Maybe we should ask around, see if anyone's seen her. She nods.
If we split up, we'll cover more ground.
Yeah. We agree to meet back up here, and Kira disappears into the crowd. I look around again, wondering who I should approach. Ask a really happy-looking guy. Old people know each other. Find someone who works here. Never mind. I'm gonna find someone who works here because, like, if there's someone who comes repeatedly, that's a decent option. The next best would be the old people because it sounds cheesy, but I would actually say that people who are of similar age groups do tend to be more likely to talk to each other. But my best chance to find this old woman is ask someone who's also spent a lot of time at the shrine. There were a few groundskeepers sweeping the steps the night I met her. There's a few more working here today. Recognizing their uniform, I approached the nearest groundskeeper. I can't tell if he's the same one from that night or not. Excuse me, do you happen to know if there's an old woman who frequents this shrine? Well, that's a bit too vague. The man looks at me, rubbing his chin.
You're going to have to be more specific than that. The elderly are always visiting the shrine.
She had short gray hair. I try to remember what she looked like, but there isn't anything specifically identifying about her. She likes to talk about something called Ethereal Energy and encourages people to make wishes at the shrine. The groundskeeper frowns.
Ethereal Energy.
Ethereal.
Listen, young man, I haven't got time for pranks. If you don't actually need anything, then please excuse me.
He thinks I'm making things up, not that I can blame him. Sorry for bothering you. Thank you again. I leave him be. Well, let's just try and approach someone who's older. Takes one to know one. Besides, if I were an old lady, who would my friends be? Probably other old ladies. I mean, there's logic there. It sounds dumb, but there's logic there. I approach a woman who waits patiently outside the offering hall. Excuse me. She jumps at my voice.
Oh, young man, are you lost?
Her eyes are full of concern. No. Actually, I'm looking for someone and wondered if you'd seen her. She's an older woman, about your height with gray hair.
Is that your grandmother? Have you been separated from your family?
Very sweet. No. I try to think of more details. No, she's someone who's very enthusiastic about something called Ethereal Energy.
What? Esther's family? Hold on.
She calls out to another elderly woman standing around the amulet booth.
Esther, this young man says you're his grandmother.
That was a stretch. No, actually.
What, dear?
The woman cups her hands around her mouth and shouts again.
This young man says you're his grandmother.
What?
While they're distracted, I quickly slip away. That didn't go the way I expected. Well, yeah, no. I guess we'll talk to Mr. Happy Face. I see a guy about my age with a big smile on his face. He's clutching an amulet and mouthing thank you to the sky. This looks like the face of someone whose wish was granted. I approach him. Excuse me. He turns to me.
What they say about the shrine is real. If you make an offering, your prayer may just be answered.
My heart does a little flip. That sounds familiar. Where did you hear that?
Oh, from someone here. And they were right. I prayed for love, and I just got a text from the cute girl I work with. It can't be a coincidence.
Well, I mean, what did she say? That could be like, hey, you coming to work? I heard that from someone at the shrine. That's great, but back to who told you. Was it an old woman with short gray hair?
No, I don't think so. On second thoughts, I might have read it off a plaque.
Okay. You know, because that's common, mistaking plaques for voices in your head.
But that's not important. I have a date to plan.
He rushes off before I can ask more. Well, that went nowhere. It's clear that nobody knows what I'm talking about. Disheartened, I returned to the meetup point. It hadn't struck me just how fruitless this endeavor was until I started asking around. Realistically, with no name or anything to go off of, what were the chances we'd find this woman anyway? Well, I don't know. Police investigations can be successful looking into people with vaguer descriptions than that. But granted, we don't have the tool set, manpower, or drive to really get to this. So yeah, I can understand it being kind of not working. I don't have to wait long before Kira returns. A sliver of hope stirs in my chest. Any leads? She shakes her head, squashing that tiny ray of hope.
You?
I shake my head too, let out a sigh as I sit on the stone bench. Asking the locals was a long shot anyway. Kira sits beside me and wordlessly hands me a bottle of water. Yes. Very thoughtful. Very cool. Oh, thanks. When'd you get this?
Over there.
She points to the other side of the hall where a small refreshment stand offers drinks and holds up a second bottle for herself. Interesting. You know what? When people give you a gift, it's best to like, normally it's just good to just accept it. Offering to pay her back, like, it kind of seems like the responsible thing to do, but also she obviously intends to give it as a gift, so I'm just gonna accept it. That was nice of her to buy me this water. I won't ruin her kindness by insisting I pay her back. I appreciate you getting one for me.
No problem.
I take a sip. Guess now's a good time as any to take a break. She nods, drinking a sip of water. As I take another drink, I glance at Kira out of the corner of my eye. Her attentiveness just now surprised me. I didn't think she'd notice the little things. I mean, I'm guessing she's just kind of ambivalent in school. Like, just doesn't really feel like she wants to be focused there. She also seems fairly introverted, so, I mean, if anything, that's the kind of personality who's going to notice the little details. I still don't have a very good read on her. She likes to keep to herself and remains disconnected at school, so her interest in Erilynn's situation is unusual. My thoughts return to the rumors. Is she really an Igarashi? Would it be rude for me to ask? As assenting my thoughts, Kira turns toward me, meeting my eyes. I may as well ask. I've been wondering something.
About the old woman?
No, about you, actually. She remains emotionless, turning back to her water.
What about me?
Are you related to the famous Igarashi conglomerate?
Yes.
That change is very subtle, but I notice it. There's a dullness in her eyes and a sharpness in her tone. Back away! Back away! Huh, I wouldn't have expected a family such as yours to live here in Matsukaza. I thought you all lived in the city.
They do.
I blink. Oh, so you live here by yourself. She nods, keeping her expression carefully blank. I don't know what I want to say, but it's definitely not this one. I mean, sounds lonely, but genuinely, like it could just be, like, nice. I think freedom, like, that would be kind of cool. No obligations, nobody demanding your attention. Sounds like the life. It doesn't sound too bad. You have the freedom to do what you want.
Yes, that's true.
Her face is her usual mask. You don't have to sound so excited about it. She glances at me out of the corner of her eye, then shrugs.
It isn't something I've noticed. Having to cook and take care of the house is just routine.
Wow. Impressive. She's right. I didn't think about all the chores I'd have to do on my own because there's no one else to take care of them. I guess the novelty does wear off when it becomes part of your daily life. She glances in my way again.
Do you live with your parents?
I nod. But they travel for work most of the year and are rarely home. Kira looks in front of her.
Rarely home.
Yeah, but they always check in with me, so I hear from them often. And I still have my aunt and uncle and my cousin Mina, so the house too, so I don't feel lonely. She blinks.
So you're always surrounded by family?
Yeah, sometimes it can get a little annoying when I want my own space, but that's a small sacrifice to make. Can't even imagine how I would have gotten out for school back in the day if Mina wasn't around to wake me. You're a little insensitive there, bud. Like, what if she actually does want people in her life, just not her family, because I don't know, they could be toxic. They could be, like, detrimental. I don't know. There's probably a reason why she's here. She goes quiet.
That sounds very nice.
Oh, gosh. Her voice has a strange, hollow tone to it. She fiddles with the water bottle in her hands. What about your family? What are they like? Boy, just plowing ahead, right? First time we're getting to spend some time with her, just going for the hard questions, I'm sure. Like that. Well, it's probably for the best. It's probably for the best. Kira remains silent, and I wonder if I've offended her. Yeah. As she's about to answer, a little boy who looks no more than 5 years old races toward us. His cheeks are rosy pink. As he skids to a stop, he sticks his palm out in front of us.
Give me money.
Here you go. Is this a bucket? That's rude. For a moment, aren't you surprised to speak? Who is this kid demanding money off strangers? Didn't your mother teach you to say please? His eyes widen.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
He flashes a bright, excited grin, exposing a gap in his front teeth.
Give me money, please.
That's a little bit better, but just barely. The kid holds out a coin.
Here.
Oh, fetch. Oh, Kira did. The little boy's face lights up. I notice Kira's expression softens as he snatches the coin out of her hand. Aww.
Thank you, lady. Now I can make a wish.
Be careful what you wish for this one. You do you. I understand why he wants money now. He seems like he's in a rush. I won't hold him up for making his wish. He races off just as quickly as he arrives. I watch him pause by the offering box. He drops in the coin before clapping his hands together. I glance at Kira. She watches the child squeeze his eyes shut and make a wish. I'm surprised you gave him the coin.
It was a small gesture that made him really happy.
I mean, you've definitely got a point there. Can't help but smile. Kira does have a softer side to her, even though it's not readily apparent.
Koji!
A breathless woman runs after the boy. When she sees him by the offering box, she pauses, catching her breath. Spotting us, she hurries over.
I'm so very sorry for Koji. Please excuse him for disturbing you.
It wasn't disturbing. It was just a little rude, but that's fine.
He was no trouble at all.
You're too kind, but I know he was rude. And I apologize again for that. He's still young and too excitable.
Nah. Trust me. Pretty much what we told him is about as scolding as he deserved for what he did. She calls out to her son.
Koji, come here. Let me give you a coin first, and then you can make a wish.
It's okay, Mama. The lady already gave me one.
The mother turns back to Kira with wide eyes. Then she bows.
Thank you so much for helping him. Please, let me repay you.
No. She tries to slip a coin to Kira's hand, but Kira shakes her head, refusing to accept it.
It was my pleasure to help.
Please, this is the least I can do.
Definitely made the right choice by not offering to pay her back. She just likes being. She's a generous person. For people like Kira, and I think I'm kind of like this, but I'm also kind of stingy, so I'm not as readily. I love to give, but I also like to pick and choose what I give. Being spontaneously asked for something is always very stressful. But there is some joy in giving when you have the ability to give. And having been horrifically poor before, I went through a phase where I didn't even know if we would have enough to buy food for a few months. Thankfully it was a very small amount of time, but I've been there, and I've been close to that poverty line. I'm finally in a place in my life where it's not destitution and it's not desperation. I'm finally getting my feet underneath me, and we're doing a lot better than we used to. But it used to be really, really hard. I know what it's like being in those situations, and it makes me more willing to want to serve in the community, to give to charities. When you're in that position, you can't help but feel compassion. I don't know if Kira's ever been in that position, which is part of what might make her character a lot stronger, is the fact that she's such a generous individual when she might not have actually ever been destitute before. She comes from a conglomerate. Even if she's from a satellite member of the family, she might still be might have access to comforts her whole life. So the fact that she's still such a kind of humble, giving person is would be a really big testament to her character. The woman urges Kira to accept the coin, but she remains firm.
When I was his age, a kind stranger gave me a coin to make my first wish too.
Oh, interesting.
I'm grateful that I could pay it forward, and I'm sure your son will too one day.
The mother nods, her face softening to a smile. She puts the coin away.
You have a good heart. Thank you again. Please, let me know if there's any other way I could repay you.
She looks back at her son, smiling. Affection makes making her eyes twinkle.
Koji loves coming to the shrine. I don't quite understand it myself, but I'll keep bringing him here if it makes him happy.
Yeah. Does that mean that you visit often? She nods.
More often than most.
I share a glance with Kira. This lady visits the shrine often. Maybe she'll know other people who hang out around here too. Do you know of an old woman who also likes to visit the shrine? She has short gray hair and likes to encourage people to make wishes. She pauses, thinking.
Oh, maybe you're thinking of Miss Tanaka.
Oh, snap, we got a name. Kira and I share a glance. Miss Tanaka?
Yes, I've seen her at the shrine pretty often. She reminds Koji to make a wish whenever she sees him. She always says it's the perfect opportunity for it.
My pulse quickens. Could this be the woman we've been searching for? Do you know if she was at the shrine last Thursday?
She may have been. I think she's normally here on Mondays and Thursdays, but I'm not too certain of her schedule.
Bingo. She was here last Thursday. It must be her. That could be her. Thank you so much. She smiles.
I'm happy to help.
Mama, I'm done.
Koji waves at his mother.
Koji, don't move.
The woman thanks us again before hurrying after her son. I faintly hear her scolding him as she scoops him into her arms. Hope makes my body feel light. Excitement bubbles within me as I turn to Kira. Miss Tanaka sounds like our best lead. She nods.
It sounds like she won't be back until Monday, though.
Yeah, but that's okay. In the meantime, we can maybe, I don't know, hang out. I don't know. Yeah. Would you want to come back with me, back here with me on Monday?
Sure.
Great. We can head here after school. Kira nods again.
Now that we have a lead, I'm going to head out. It's getting late and there are a few things I need to do.
Squinting, I glance at the setting sun. Orange and yellow blazed in the sky. I hadn't realized it'd gotten so late. Thanks again for coming with me today.
I'm glad we were able to make some progress.
Me too. We make our way out of the shrine together. When we reach the gate, we say our goodbyes and go our separate ways. That was very sweet. Kira's pretty cool. Kira's pretty cool. My mind's racing with thoughts of Miss Tanaka as I walk all the way home. When I arrive home, I see Erilynn waiting for me in the living room. As soon as she spots me, she jumps to her feet and rushes to my side.
Finally, you're home!
Oh, sorry. What's up? I'm taken aback by your sudden appearance. What's wrong? Are you okay?
No, I'm not!
Why? What's wrong?
I've been suffering for hours!
Wait, what's happening? Suffering? This sounds serious. What happened?
What happened is that I have been starving.
Oh, right. She doesn't prepare her own food. I blink. What?
There's no food.
What do you mean there's no food?
I mean, I checked the kitchen and there was no food.
That can't be possible. Aunt Emiko keeps the kitchen stocked. Did they bring everything to the bakery? Let's go take a look. We'll have to teach her how to bake food, right? I head in the kitchen. Erilynn follows on my heels. The first thing I notice is the bread on the counter. Opening the fridge, I spot the usual staples of meat and vegetables. There's plenty of food here. Erilynn points to the kitchen table.
No, it's empty.
I point at everything in the kitchen. Then what's all this?
They're ingredients to make food, not food.
Oh gosh, I can't. Really? They put those ingredients to use. She looks as if I suggested she eat her arm. There's bread, ham, cheese. You could have easily made yourself a sandwich. Erilynn stares blankly.
Make a sandwich?
Yes. She continues to stare at me, considering her reactions to the sandwich we ate the other morning. I have a strong feeling I know the answer to the question I'm about to ask. Have you ever made a sandwich before?
Of course not.
Right. It's easy. All you do is grab bread, make sure you don't add any condiments to it, make sure you add any condiments to it, grab your filling, layer on the top.
Hold on.
What?
I'm hearing a whole lot of words coming from you, but don't understand how any of that will cure me of my famine.
All right, Erilynn, time for you to get your hands dirty. And I hate to say this, but you gotta get in the kitchen and make a sandwich. Bite back my frustration. If you would listen, then you'd know. She sighs and puts her hand on her hip. Finally. Like I was saying, all you need to do is put the condiments and filling between two slices of bread. That's it. Erilynn blinks slowly, her expression remaining flat. No, you're going to learn today. I don't care if she really doesn't understand what I just said. If she's pretending, she's going to have to make she's going to have to make the sandwich. Well, okay, I didn't want to force her, but I like, come on, let's make the sandwich together. No? You don't want to? I shrug. Guess you aren't that hungry after all. Her eyes widen.
I haven't eaten all day.
Well, just told you how to make a sandwich. You should try to making one. Okay, this is a little mean. I would probably make the sandwich. Cross my arms, remaining firm in my choice. She looks away and flicks her hair in response.
Yes, well, it sounds easy enough. If the simple common folk can do it, then I certainly can as well.
This is gonna be great. Great. She looks awkwardly at the ingredients. Maybe she really does need more help than that. You know what? All this talk of sandwiches is making me hungry too. I think I'll make one for myself.
Just as long as it doesn't interfere with my royal sandwich.
She watches me closely as I grab the first slice of bread, put it on my plate. Then she mirrors my movements. Yeah, see, this is what I was saying we should do. Erilynn continues to sneak glances my way. I pretend as if I don't notice, but slow down so she can follow how I build my sandwich. As she starts to get the hang of things, I see a smile grow on her face. Yes! She watches me spread mayo on one slice of bread and looks curiously at the condiment. Dipping some on a spoon, she tastes it and her face lights up. After adding the last slice of bread, she beams proudly at her creation.
See, it was simple, just as I expected.
You obviously are the queen of the kitchen.
And look how magnificent it is!
She glances over at my sandwich.
Yours looks acceptable, but doesn't even compare to the sheer perfection that is mine.
Oh gosh, okay, Erilynn, calm down. Look is just part of it. The taste is more important. Erilyn's smile becomes smug.
Oh, I'm not worried about it. I know that mine will taste fantastic.
Oh yeah?
I made sure of it by adding a secret ingredient.
Uh-oh. Wait, was it red? What ingredient?
Mayonnaise.
I blink. That's not a secret. I added mayo too.
Yes, but only on one slice of bread. I added 2 layers of mayo on both slices of bread.
Wait a minute. 2 layers of mayo on both slices of bread. So, if she's saying like the normal, like the thing where you put mayo on the inside of one side and the inside of the other, that makes sense. That's how I do it too. If she's saying that she added a second layer and made it extra thick, you, probably gonna be messy. But is she saying that she put mayo on the outside and inside layers of each slice of bread? That's gonna be a disaster.
If having just a little mayo makes it delicious, then having extra mayo will make it extra delicious.
Ah, but balance is key. I don't think that's how it works. She flips her hair and smiles, a smug smile still in place.
I wouldn't expect a mere peasant like you to understand.
All right, full of confidence, she holds her sandwich and takes a big bite. Immediately she freezes, her eyes grow wide and her smile drops. With great difficulty, she swallows the mouthful.
It's delicious.
Erilynn, come on. Like, I know you've got your royal pride or whatever, but just admit you want to do it again. She forces down another bite. What's delicious is karma. I admire your dedication. I can't. I'm just a bleeding heart. I can just make another one. I'm not so cruel as to make her suffer through eating that. On second thought, I'm not actually very hungry after all. You can have mine.
Oh, I couldn't possibly.
I slide my plate over to her. If you don't eat it, then it'll just go to waste. She glances at my sandwich and the one in her hands.
Well, it is rude to refuse a gift, and one shouldn't waste food, so of course I will dutifully accept.
Putting her sandwich back on the plate, she takes a bite out of mine and sighs happily. Is it good?
Yes!
She blushes at her outburst before quickly covering up.
I mean, it's obviously not as good as mine was, but I'll make do.
Uh-huh, sure. I can't help but smile. Once we're finished eating, Erilynn stretches into a wide yawn.
Oh my, well, I'm going to go and rest. I've had such a long day.
Sitting around waiting for food? A long day of what?
I'm nearly starving to death. Trying to just survive takes so much energy.
Every day seems to be a long day with you. Sorry, right-click. Curse my hand. I always do that. She glances at me, putting her hand on her hip.
It's not by choice, I assure you.
I smile in response. If you're ever stuck in a similar situation, at least now you know how to make a sandwich. Her face melts into a proud smile.
Yes, all in a day's work.
Yay, lesson learned. She turns to leave. Your plate? Pausing, she briefly glances at it and flicks her wrist in dismissal.
Oh, yes, I'm done. You can take it away. Good night.
She gracefully exits the room. I'd love to see her try and live alone for like a week. It would be horrific. My gaze goes flat. Next time I'll have to teach her how to do the dishes, clear the plate, and clean up the kitchen before going upstairs. Mina's still out with her friends. Aunt Emiko and Uncle Hajime are closing up the bakery. Taking advantage of the quiet, I start on my homework. I work until I lose focus, and then I browse my internet for a bit. When my eyes struggle to stay open, I get ready for bed. Before long, I'm fast asleep. Lovely, lovely day. That was fun. The sun shines through my window, burning away the fog of sleep. Blinking open my eyes, I glance outside. For once, I have no obligations. The thought energizes me, and I get ready for the day. Both Mina and Erilynn's doors are closed, and that's fine with me. I could use a quiet morning. After refreshing up, I head downstairs to grab a bite to eat. There's a loaf of custard bread on the table with a piece already torn off. That must mean Mina is awake. She loves the stuff. I catch the savory smell of meat and see the steamer. Uncle Hajime must have prepared meat buns for us too. Ooh, fresh meat buns. I don't like eating meat anymore, unfortunately, but like I do remember enjoying meat buns. After eating, I clean up and relax in the living room when the ring of the doorbell surprises me. I'm not expecting anyone. I wonder who it is. When I open the door, I'm greeted by Kosei's smiling face. Of course it's Kosei, the bros.
My man! Aren't you glad it's the weekend? I have the day off, so I thought I'd swing by.
Sup, dude? Nice sunglasses. Hey, come on in. He barely waits for me to step aside before he lets himself in, kicking his shoes off in the process.
Feel like doing anything in particular today? Where should we go?
Ooh, what are the choices? Can't help but notice Kosei's choice of outfit. While his clothes are clean, they show a few signs of wear and tear. Most importantly, they're a few decades out of fashion. None of that is surprising. Kosei has had his vintage style for as long as I've known him. Doesn't mean I've stopped noticing it, though. Vintage is in. It's party like it's 1999. Everyone has their own style. Kosei would stick out like a sore thumb if he went anywhere other than the past. The 90s called. They want their clothes back. He scoffs.
Some people just don't appreciate good fashion.
Or the lack thereof.
This is classic vintage. It's the epitome of fashion these days.
Sure. Are you sure they aren't just wearing old hand-me-downs?
Of course not. I bought this with my own money. There's no better way to stand out than to deviate from the norm.
He's got the standing out part. But to answer your question, I don't have anywhere in mind. What about you? Kosei shakes his head.
Not particularly. We can stay in instead. I'm all about relaxation.
That works for me. We could play something on the console.
Yeah, man, it's been a while since I got to demolish you and Crash Bros.
Yeah, let's get that smash on. Crash on. We head up to my room and search through my games. Kosei excitedly checks out the newest release my parents brought back from their latest business trip to the US. I'll usually get a game before he does, and we'll try it out together. After booting everything up, we select teams and start to play.
So, are you looking forward to the club fair next week?
Oh gosh. Yeah, you?
Definitely. I know which club I want to join now, too.
I'll guess the soccer club or the dishwashing club. Soccer? He gives me a knowing look.
What about you? Which club will you join?
I don't know, man. Ooh, science, debate, acting, swimming, also soccer, anime club. Okay. Going off of my experience, I was brought into the science club, and I had a lot more fun than I anticipated. We actually went to like a state competition, and I actually did decently well. It was really cool. I'm such a nerd, but it's okay. I was proud of myself anyway. You can't take that from me. Debate club. Loved it in concept, but I was terrible at it. Just, I was good at like formulating discussions, and I can think well on my toes, but I hated that I had to there's not a lot of opinions that I have a strong like position on, and so it always was like a hit and miss, where like there were some times where I would do really, really well, usually if it was a topic that I could understand or was excited about, even in like a little bit. But then if I was given a position that I just didn't like really care for in any way, I couldn't defend it very well, which is not a good, that's not how debaters should be. Acting club, that sounds really fun, something I wish I'd gotten into more, but never did. Swimming, I love to swim. Soccer, probably not. Anime club, I mean, sure, that sounds fun, but it also seems like it'd be the most boring. Like, I feel like I just do that just chatting with friends and stuff. I don't know if I need a club for it particularly, unless you wanted to go into like the nitty gritty, like getting to know like directors and voice actors and all that stuff. God, you know what? I'm gonna go with like, I'm such a nerd, but I'm gonna go with my gut instinct. What was the club that I had the most fun with in high school? Science club. I think I'll join the science club. Because I sucks in a large breath.
Nerd!
Are you not entertained? Listen, if getting to make mini explosions is nerdy, then I'm proud to be a nerd.
Okay, I will admit that exploding things does sound awesome.
We continue to chat as we play. As is generally the trend with Kosei, the more into the game he gets, the quieter he becomes. Soon we're both getting into the competitive spirit as we play against each other. I get louder. Suddenly a knock at the door interrupts us. Who is it? Kosei mutters under his breath.
Must be Mina coming to kill the vibe.
Hey. In response, the door bursts open, Erilynn standing in the frame. You can't just barge in here.
I didn't. I knocked.
You're supposed to answer my question and wait for me to invite you in.
How tedious. I announced my presence by knocking. You'd find out who I was after opening the door.
Kosei stares in wide-eyed wonder. He scrambles to his feet.
That's Erilynn!
Yep. Yes.
She's here!
Yes.
In your house!
She, like, lives here, dude. Still, yes.
Dressed like a hot fantasy princess.
Yes. She likes to cosplay.
Why do you sound like this is a totally normal situation?
It's become normal, dude. Don't get mad.
Wait, am I still asleep? That must be it.
Kosei pinches himself and winces. As reality dawns, he turns to me for an explanation. Oh, right. I guess we never mentioned Erilynn's living situation to him. So, funny story, she actually lives here.
She what?
Kosei's eyes bug out. His words are a choked squeak. Erilynn waves her hand in front of her face as if waving away an annoying fly.
I require your assistance at once.
I glance over to Kosei and back to Erilynn. In case you haven't noticed, I'm a little preoccupied. She crosses her arms.
With what?
I think you mean with whom? I point to Kosei, who remains frozen in shock and confusion. She glances at Kosei, then back at me.
Well, Mina told me that the homework I was assigned needs to be completed.
Erilynn, I understand. You have to do this. I'll help you, but you have to do this. Okay.
But she won't do it for me.
That sounds about right.
So I'm going to need you to complete it for me instead.
Seemingly out of nowhere, she pulls out a stack of workbooks and drops it next to me with a smug smile and turns away.
I'll come collect it in the evening.
No! What is even going on? Wait a minute! She pauses, fixing me with a bored look. See, now here's the thing. I'm gonna offer to help her. Insisting I do her homework isn't the right tactic, but clearly she needs help, and I shouldn't ignore that. I mean, think about it. She's from another universe, most likely. She might not even understand what basic arithmetic is, and she's probably in, like, trigonometry at this point. Like, do you expect her to just go into it, like, with cold feet? She doesn't know how to make a sandwich! I won't do your homework for you, but if you need help, then I can help you. Erilynn sighs and settles at my desk, resigned to her fate.
Very well. If that's how it must be, then let's get started.
I mean, look, sorry, Kosei. Like, I'm not gonna just let her flounder. I meant later. I'm still hanging out with Kosei right now. Erilynn furrows her brows.
What's a kosei?
After a mention of his name, Kosei awakens from his stupor. He jumps up.
Me, Erilynn? I'm a Kosei. I'm Kosei.
Erilynn looks at him as if seeing him for the first time. She puts on a gentle smile, her regal air returning.
Oh, I see. Do we know each other?
Oh. Ow.
We go to school together.
Her face is still blank.
I'm in your class.
Oh,
After her little exclamation, she gets up and walks away. We both watch in silence as she exits. Once Erilynn's out of view, Kosei flops onto the back of his back onto the floor.
She didn't even get to the point of rejecting me.
Yeah, she literally ignored your existence until you forced yourself to make her presence known, and then she just said, oh, and left. Well, at least your expectations are in line. He clutches his chest.
That comment would have hurt if I wasn't already dead. Wait, I think this is still a dream. This entire scenario doesn't seem remotely possible.
Unfortunately, bro, it is. He pulls his head back and slaps himself across the face. Seriously, dude? With no change of result, he flops down again. I kneel down and pat his shoulder. If it makes you feel any better, it's not like the two of you have actually talked before today. He lets out a loud groan.
But we sit right by each other. She didn't even recognize me.
Dude, she didn't even know how to make a sandwich yesterday. It's okay.
What have I done to deserve such cruelty? How can I be so unmemorable?
I'm pretty confident that you're not the problem in this case. But my words fall on deaf ears as Kosei lets out another long groan. Footsteps echo the hallway, which is immediately followed by a breathless Mina. She pops her head into the doorway.
are you okay, cuz? I heard a thud, and then a loud...
She pauses when she sees Kosei on the floor. Straightening back up, the concern melts off her face.
Oh, it's just Kosei.
Hey! Now that's really getting mean! Just as quickly, she turns away. Well, that was record timing. Maybe the hilarity of the situation will pull Kosei out of his mood. Hey, Kosei. He continues to stare at the ceiling.
Yeah.
You seem to be pretty proficient at repelling women today. Ha ha!
Ree!
Kosei finally sits. Was that a meme? His face is grave as he returns to his feet.
I need to go home, man.
Why? What's wrong? Kosei shakes his head.
I need to do some introspection or something and reevaluate my life.
Yeah, or we could just keep gaming. He shakes his head again.
No, not even video games can fix this. I'll see you later.
Sorry, bro. I will remember you always. Kosei shuffles out of his room. I follow him to the front door and send him off, trying my best to encourage him. He'll be fine. I'm sure of it. Well, pretty sure of it. Anyways, Kosei having his 10th life crisis and Mina at work, I have some free time. Who should I hang out with? I get to actually choose to hang out with Kira? I should help Erilynn, but of course I'm gonna hang out with Kira. I wonder what Kira's doing. She seems interesting. It might be fun to do something outside of school or investigating Erilynn's situation. Maybe I should see what she's up to. I mean, I feel like I'm totally blowing Erilynn off with the homework thing, but I'm sure I'm the reasonable young adult who's going to not completely flake on Erilynn at all. Shut up. Don't stop. Stop. I see you looking at me funny. Stop it. Anyway, I pull out my phone, dial her number. She picks up after a few rings.
Hello?
Hey, Kira, how's it going?
Well,
She doesn't add anything else. After a small pause, she finally speaks.
did you discover something new about Erilynn's predicament?
No. I was just wondering if you wanted to hang out? No response. I'll just wait. I'll just wait.
Oh,
She sounds surprised. So, are you free? She pauses.
not exactly. I'm about to attend a comedy show.
Really? Huh? She didn't strike me as someone who's into that. Hey. Just because somebody has no apparent sense of humor doesn't mean they don't have an enjoyment of humor. Just because they don't crack jokes doesn't mean they don't appreciate the art. That's a completely different thing. Like, I don't get that correlation. Like, why do funny people only enjoy comedy? No, that's stupid. Obviously, I enjoy comedy. I'm the proof of the pudding right there. I see. No worries then. That sounds like it'll be fun. Takes another few seconds for her to reply. I can already tell with Kira, it's about patience. She likes to think before she speaks, and that's really cool. It just means you have to be patient and you have to be comfortable with dead air. It's very true to people in general, too.
Do you like comedy shows?
The question catches me off guard, but I quickly recover. I've never been to one, but I'd like to check it out sometime.
I see.
Another pause.
Would you like to go today?
Yes! Patience wins! Is Kira asking me out a date? She's usually more reserved than aloof. Maybe I'm thinking too much on this. I don't know how I'm supposed to respond to this. I saw these choices and I was filled with like a primal fear. I was like, she means as friends. It's a date, sure, why not? I don't think it's a date. But does this affect like how I see it? Oh gosh, oh I hate this. I'm sure it can't destroy anything. I could just go to the same, sure, why not? But that sounds very flippant, like, whatever. I'd be like, yeah, that sounds cool. Yeah, I think she means as friends. I'm sure she just means as friends. Kira doesn't seem the type to be so forward. Either way, play it cool. Sure, as long as I'm not intruding.
Cool. I have an extra ticket you can take.
Sweet. Oh, did someone cancel on you?
No.
So she has 2 tickets but was planning to go alone. Strange.
Let's meet there in half an hour.
Okay, cool. See you then. After we hang up, Kira texts me the address of the local venue and I hurry to get ready. I throw on some jeans and a t-shirt. These things are normally pretty casual. Once I'm satisfied, I scarf down a quick meal and then make my way outside. It's gonna be like premier box seats, right? The walk isn't too bad, even though the hour is late. The sky is still light, so I have no trouble finding the place. A soft breeze ruffles across my skin the whole way, making the trip easy and relaxing. I find Kira standing inside the auditorium. Most of the seats are starting to become filled. Hey. There she is. She looks up. What on earth is this venue? Look at those chairs. They look so uncomfortable.
Hi.
Thanks for inviting me to come along. She nods in response and hands me a ticket. Thanks. How much do I owe you?
Don't worry about it.
I blink. Really?
Yeah, they were a gift from my parents.
Sweet. No wonder she has 2 tickets. Her parents must have given her one so she could invite a friend. I smile. Ah, okay. Thanks. Together we head inside. A man at the door checks our tickets and guides us to our seats. It's pretty crowded. The club is low lit with tables and chairs scattered about. There's a stage with a microphone set up in front of the row of curtains. So, did you get to, do you go to these shows a lot?
No, not very often.
As if on cue, a man wearing jeans and a Hawaiian shirt walks onto the stage. He sets down a bottle of water and picks up the mic.
Good evening, Matsukaze. I'm Joey Fallon. It's great to be here with you.
Hey, we're back to the old Ace Academy where they make, and Crystalline, where they make not so subtle, absolutely hilarious pop culture references. They can be pretty funny, but sometimes they're very hammy. So this Joey Fallon definitely seems very hammy so far. Everyone breaks down applause, so he grins and walks across the stage.
Oh, wow, applause. I didn't expect to get the royal treatment when I signed up for this thing.
A few chuckles sprinkle across the room. Who would chuckle at that? He steps down the stage and wanders through the audience.
I'm surprised to see so many adults here. Not that I'm complaining. Normally I attract the edgy kids who mistake this place for an actual nightclub. When you title something club, it's bound to happen, am I right?
Wow. He passes by our table, suddenly stops, pointing Kira at me.
Like these two. Are you kids even 18?
My cheeks flush at the attention. Open my mouth to answer when the comedian raises a hand.
Yeah, don't answer that. I don't need another call from my lawyer.
Fair. That one's actually kind of funny. The crowd breaks out into more laughter. Kira looks around her, but otherwise she keeps her cool facade. Joey grins. He leans the mic toward me.
So, are you two on a date?
Oh, the date? He flushes in my face. I don't want to make Kira uncomfortable. The date? No. Kira glances at me and my blush burns bright and it sounded like an insult, didn't it? Not that I wouldn't like that. I would. I mean, if she's great, just fist in mouth. We're just friends. I wanted to melt to the walls of the word stab around in a jumbled flurry. Joey chuckles lightly.
Just friends, huh?
He gives me a sympathetic pat on the shoulder.
It's okay. We've all been there, kid.
Laughter ripples through the crowd. The heat increases in my cheeks. I still glance at Kira, but she's unconcerned. The comedian leaves us and continues on with the show. I probably made the wrong choice there, but dang it, who would actually be like, yes, we're on a date, when you just literally like being, oh gosh. I would be dying. I'm dying right now and it's not even real. He goes into a funny monologue about relationships and marriage, which has the audience roaring. He tells a joke that makes me dissolve into laughter, but Kira only smiles. In fact, no more than a light chuckle escapes her whole show. When it's over, the comedian bows and everyone erupts into applause.
Have a great night, everybody. Thank.
Oh, I cut him off, but that's fine. He exits. Murmuring fills the crowd as people stand up and file out the door. I follow Kira. We shift our way through the crowd and head outside. Evening has fallen by now, and the streets lit up by street lamps and a few stray stars. The breeze feels cool and nice after being that warm in the warm crowd. I hate that. Like, that's one of the things about being in like in close space with a lot of people, which we haven't done in a while. But like, I do hate how musty it gets. So, what'd you think of the show?
It was funny.
I blink, surprised. Really? She nods. You're not making a joke now, are you?
No, it really was funny.
Even when the comedian thought we were dating? She nods again. My cheeks warm up again at the thought. I rub the back of my head awkwardly. That was pretty unexpected, wasn't it?
It was.
She doesn't offer more than that. We begin our trek home side by side.
Did you think he was funny?
I mean, like, even if I try to be like, bleh, whatever, like, obviously, like, there were jokes that made my character laugh. Like, huh? Oh, yeah, I liked him a lot. I laughed so much my sides hurt.
I'm glad. You seemed like you enjoyed yourself.
Oh, absolutely. I'm thrown off by the comment, but in a pleasant way. Didn't expect her to notice me. Yeah, really did. To be honest, I was surprised you suggested a comedy show to begin with.
How come?
I don't know. You just never struck me as the type to enjoy it.
Oh.
Silence falls between us. Kira keeps up her steady pace beside me. After a moment, she takes in a slight breath.
If it weren't for my parents' tickets, I wouldn't have gone. But given the circumstances, it would have been a waste not to go.
Yeah, I mean, and you enjoyed yourself. That's all that matters. That's what really matters. True. They kind of set the tickets out of the blue.
Actually, they send me tickets whenever they hear a show is in town.
Do they think it'll give you a sense of humor? Really? That's pretty nice of them. She shrugs, seemingly indifferent about the situation.
They assume I love going, even though I've never told them that.
Oh, then how'd they get that idea?
They took me to a show once when I was a child, and I found it funny.
So they paid attention to that one incident and then extrapolated it for the rest of life. Yeah, I know parents would do that. It's not out of like, it's not because they're like bad parents, but that they don't understand that the kids change. I wait for her to continue, but she doesn't. That's it? Kira nods. I want to give her parents the benefit of the doubt, but I can see why Kira doesn't value those gifts. They feel like an afterthought. Well, do you actually enjoy attending comedy clubs? She pauses in thought, as if contemplating this for the very first time. Then she nods.
Yeah, I do like it.
So, I mean, all's well that ends well, then. I like going with you. As a slight smile tugs at my mouth. I like them now, too, especially since I got to go with you. If I ever snag tickets for another show, you are more than welcome to join. There's the ghost of a smile on Kira's lips.
I'll keep that in mind. Thank you.
Aww, that's very sweet. She's pretty adorable. You gotta admit. We stop at the fork in the road. This is me. Thanks again for inviting me. I had a great time.
You're welcome.
Are we still good for Monday?
Yes, at the shrine.
Cool. See you then. After saying goodbye, we split off into our separate streets. I'm glad I called Kira today. For someone who's uncomfortable in the limelight, attending the show alone would have definitely attracted the comedian. Would have definitely attracted the comedian's attention. At least this time, she had me to help defuse the situation. I wonder how many shows she'd attended alone. Her family seems like they meant well, but they don't really seem to understand their daughter. When I get home, I'm feeling pretty tired. I change into my pajamas, finish up some last-minute homework. Didn't take too long. Then I click off the light and roll into bed. That was fun. I have no idea how I did on the point system or whatever, but it was definitely enjoyable. Thank you guys so much for joining me, but that is where we're going to be ending for today. That was just like its predecessors, Ace Academy and Crystalline, like this game, I always walk away with a smile. Like, is it perfect? No, it's pretty cheesy, but like that's kind of the part of the charm. Like, you don't come to this for like super in-depth, like compelling narratives. Like, it's not a Steins Gate or a Mublove. It's not trying to be. It's trying to be itself, and that's beautiful. It's really fun. The characters are super engaging so far. I'm enjoying the interaction, and it definitely seems like we're seeing an uptick. Like, Ace Academy was rough around the edges. Really fun execution of ideas, but fun. Then you have Crystalline, which is like, they put a lot more polish on it, but they lost a lot of like dynamic storytelling in that process, which was fine. But for me, they lost more than they gained, because it was the dynamic storytelling elements in Ace that really like made me excited about it. And so Crystalline, while fun, definitely like I felt like kind of dropped down a bit. This one doesn't have the same quite level of Ace Academy, but I definitely feel like they've kind of regained a lot more of like the narrative, like, and the choices like seem to be a bit more dynamic so far. But how it translates into the big picture, I have no idea. But I'm seeing them kind of like they're figuring out exactly what their build's going to be, and the polish levels are also really good. I'm also seeing a lot less glitches than I saw in Crystalline. Like, I definitely had some pretty horrifying results in that, if you haven't seen that one, specifically with eyes being in places they shouldn't be. Nightmare fuel, effectively. But so far the game looks really stable. It's been going really well. I'm enjoying the characters a lot, and like the situations just bring a smile to my face. And so like, consider that a win right there. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me on the channel. It's always a pleasure having you, and a special thank you to the patrons who help make this channel even more like awesome. They just are doing things like their contributions are going to be helping make the channel greater, going to help me get some new emojis for the Discord server. They're gonna help me with like getting like specialized art for the channel itself, and also just continuing to support this hobby of mine. I really appreciate your offerings, but don't feel like you have to. If you're a patron, you get access to the patron cast, but if you're not, I'm so grateful to have you here. Thank you so much. And until the next video watching me, I've seen me next. I'll see you there.